Imagine this. A plane carrying 239 souls vanishes into thin air, leaving the world grasping at shadows for over a decade. Did you know that in 2025, Malaysia stunned the globe by announcing a renewed search for MH370, claiming they're just days away from cracking the case? Welcome to Exploring Mysteries, where today we dive into the enigma of Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370, a puzzle that's haunted aviation history for 11 years. Why did Ocean Infinity, the company tasked with this mission, suddenly halt their search just weeks after their bold promise? What could they have found or fear finding that's too shocking to reveal? Buckle up, because this story weaves through science, suspicion, and the stubborn human spirit chasing answers. On May 15, 2025, Malaysia's government dropped a bombshell. They're restarting the hunt for MH370, backed by Ocean Infinity's cutting-edge tech and a no-find, no-fee deal. The claim? They've got new leads that could pinpoint the Boeing 777's wreckage in just 10 days. This isn't just another search. It's a lifeline for families still aching for closure. But here's the kicker. 2 weeks later, Ocean Infinity packed up their robots and sailed back to Singapore, silent as the deep sea. Were they spooked by something buried in the Indian Ocean? Or is this a high-stakes game of politics and money? The mystery of MH370 isn't just about a lost plane. It's about what we're willing to believe when the truth feels out of reach. Let's start unraveling this tale, step by chilling step. The clock struck 1:41 a.m. on the 8th of March, 2014, when Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370, a Boeing 777 carrying 239 passengers and crew, vanished from radar screens over the South China Sea. What makes this disappearance so baffling is not just that a massive jet could disappear, but how it seemed to evade the world's most sophisticated tracking systems with surgical precision. After departing Kuala Lumpur for Beijing, the plane made its last contact with Malaysian Air Traffic Control, signing off with a casual, "Good night, Malaysian 370. Then, silence. No distress call, no mayday, just a void that's haunted investigators ever since. Moments after losing contact, military radar caught something chilling. MH370 had made a sharp 270-degree turn, climbing to 43,000 feet near its operational limit before diving to 23,000 feet and flying low across the Malaysian peninsula. It then veered northwest, slipping out of radar range 54 minutes later. But the plane wasn't done leaving clues. 7 mysterious handshakes between the aircraft and an Inmarsat satellite revealed it had flown for hours, likely into the desolate southern Indian Ocean. These pings, like ghostly whispers, traced an arc stretching 2,400 kilometers, but their imprecision left searchers with a haystack the size of a continent. Why did the plane turn? How could it fly undetected for so long? The data suggests a deliberate act, but by whom or what remains a question that keeps us awake at night. Let's peel back the layers of this enigma, chasing the shadows of MH370's final hours. Picture this. A plane doesn't just vanish, it's steered into oblivion with chilling intent. The mystery of MH370 isn't just about where it went, but who might have orchestrated its final act. One of the darkest theories points to the cockpit, specifically Captain Zahari Ahmed Shah. Investigative reports, like one from The Atlantic, paint a troubling picture. A man whose personal life was unraveling, marked by a crumbling marriage and erratic behavior. His own daughter admitted, "He wasn't the father I knew." At his home, investigators found a flight simulator with a deleted file eerily mimicking MH370's suspected path. Could a seasoned pilot, trusted with 239 lives, have planned a catastrophic exit? The thought is as unsettling as it is plausible. But not everyone agrees the captain is the culprit. British pilot Simon Hardy offers a different angle, suggesting MH370 was deliberately flown to the Gelvink Fracture Zone, a seismic trench in the Indian Ocean averaging 3,400 meters deep. Hardy, who aided the 2015 search, argues the plane's path was meticulously planned to crash where earthquakes could bury it under sediment, making recovery nearly impossible. "It's like someone didn't want it found," he told The Sun. This theory raises a haunting question. Was Minus 370's fate sealed by a single mind or a larger conspiracy? Both ideas, pilot sabotage or a calculated crash, suggest human intent over mechanical failure. As we sift through these shadows, the line between accident and agenda blurs, pulling us deeper into the abyss of speculation. When a piece of MH370's wing washed ashore on Reunion Island in July 2015, it was like a message in a bottle from a lost world. This flaperon, a 2-meter section of the Boeing 777's right wing, was the first confirmed debris from the flight, found 16 months after the plane vanished. But instead of answers, it brought contradictions that still baffle experts. Covered in barnacles on all sides, it suggested the flaperon was fully submerged during its 3,600-kilometer journey across the Indian Ocean. Yet, simulations show a wing part like this should float with at least some surfaces exposed. Stranger still, the barnacles were oddly small, appearing only weeks to months old, not the 16 months claimed. Was this debris planted? Or is the ocean hiding a trick we don't yet understand? Then there's Blaine Gibson, a modern-day treasure hunter who turned debris hunting into a personal crusade. In 2016, this American lawyer left his comfortable life to scour East African shores, driven by a gut feeling that MH370's wreckage had drifted there. In Mozambique, he found a piece of the plane's horizontal stabilizer, and in Madagascar, he uncovered over 10 more fragments, some with honeycomb cores matching Boeing 777 materials. But Gibson's quest wasn't without peril. After handing over finds to a Malaysian official, that diplomat was gunned down in Madagascar's capital. Gibson himself faced threats and a laptop theft in 2022, just as he'd secured a critical piece, a nose gear door fragment suggesting the plane hit the ocean with landing gear down, implying a high-speed crash. These discoveries scream one question: why do the clues keep leading to danger? The debris is talking, but someone or something seems desperate to silence it. What if a retired engineer, working alone in his study, cracked a mystery that baffled the world's top minds? Meet Richard Godfrey, a 71-year-old British aviation expert who claims he's pinpointed MH370's crash site to a 30-kilometer circle in the Indian Ocean, using a method so unconventional it's been called heretical. In 2021, Godfrey stunned the media, declaring he'd spent 7 years, 8 hours a day, analyzing signals from a global network of amateur radio enthusiasts. This network, known as WSPR, Weak Signal Propagation Reporter, captures faint radio disturbances caused by objects like planes passing through signal paths. Godfrey's theory? MH370's flight disrupted these signals, leaving a digital breadcrumb trail that could trace its final moments. Sounds like science fiction, right? Most experts thought so too. Even Nobel laureate Joseph Taylor, a pioneer in radio science, dismissed WSPR's use for tracking planes, arguing the data's too noisy to be reliable. Yet Godfrey persisted, combing through millions of signal logs with statistical precision. His calculations aligned eerily with Inmarsat's satellite handshakes, pinpointing a crash site in a 4,500-meter depth trench, where he believes MH370 slammed into the ocean at 0 feet per minute of violent end. What makes his work compelling is its overlap with debris drift patterns, like the flaperon's starting point. But here's the chilling part. Godfrey's data suggests someone manually disabled the plane's systems, pointing to deliberate sabotage. Is he a genius or a dreamer? His findings have swayed enough minds to earn Australia's official nod as a credible lead, making us wonder if the truth is finally within reach. When Ocean Infinity announced their renewed search for MH370 in 2025, they didn't just promise results, they bet their reputation on it. Their confidence is staggering. A no-find, no-fee deal with Malaysia, backed by tech so advanced they claimed they could locate the wreckage in just 10 days, So, what's fueling this audacity? It's a cocktail of cutting-edge artificial intelligence, refined data from mavericks like Richard Godfrey, and a narrowed search zone that's a fraction of the original 2,400-kilometer arc. Ocean Infinity's fleet of underwater drones can now scan the ocean floor at unprecedented speeds, processing sonar and visual data in real time with AI algorithms that spot patterns humans might miss. Imagine a robot sifting through miles of seabed, identifying a wing fragment in the dark. 4,000 meters down, that's the future they're banking on. But here's where it gets intriguing. Their abrupt retreat to Singapore just 2 weeks after starting raises eyebrows. Were they spooked by an unexpected find, like wreckage that challenges the official narrative? Or did negotiations with Malaysia hit a snag? My take? Ocean Infinity's pause feels less like defeat and more like a strategic regroup. They're not just chasing debris, they're navigating a minefield of politics and public expectations. The company's CEO, Oliver Plunkett, has hinted at sensitive data guiding their efforts, possibly tied to Godfrey's WSPR findings or new satellite analysis. Whatever they're holding back, their tech and resolve suggest they're closer than ever to piercing the Indian Ocean's secrets. The question isn't if they'll return, it's what they'll uncover when they do. The MH370 mystery isn't just about a missing plane, it's about the human toll and the relentless quest for closure that binds us all. Imagine being a family member, waking up every day for 11 years, wondering if your loved one's final moments will ever be explained. That pain fuels people like Blaine Gibson, who risked his life scouring beaches for debris, and Richard Godfrey, who spent years decoding radio signals. Their stories remind me of a friend I once knew, Sarah, who lost her brother in a hiking accident in the Alps. For years, she hiked those same trails, not just to find his remains, but to feel connected to him. She told me, searching isn't about giving up, it's about honoring their memory. Like Sarah, the MH370 seekers aren't just chasing answers, they're carrying the weight of 239 souls. My perspective on MH370 is shaped by this human drive. I believe the truth matters, not just for closure, but for trust in the systems we rely on, like aviation. The idea that someone, perhaps the captain, could have orchestrated this loss shakes our faith in those entrusted with our safety. Yet, I'm equally struck by the resilience of those who keep digging, like Gibson facing threats or Godfrey defying skeptics. Their work isn't just about finding wreckage, it's about proving that no mystery is too deep to confront. What keeps me hooked is the hope that their efforts will one day light up the darkness, giving families a chance to heal. The ocean may be vast, but human determination is vaster still. The saga of MH370 teaches us something profound about the human spirit. Even when answers lie buried in the deepest trenches, we keep searching. This isn't just about a plane. It's about our refusal to let the unknown win. Take the story of the Titanic's rediscovery in 1985. For 73 years, the ocean guarded its secret, but Robert Ballard's team used early sonar tech to find it 3,800 meters down. Like MH370 seekers, they faced skepticism and setbacks, yet their persistence rewrote history. MH370's lesson is clear. Resilience turns impossible quests into breakthroughs. Whether it's Godfrey's radio signals or Ocean Infinity's AI drones, each step forward shows that technology, paired with grit, can crack even the toughest mysteries. Another lesson hits closer to home. Truth is worth fighting for, no matter the cost. When I think of Blaine Gibson dodging threats or families enduring decades of grief, I'm reminded of whistleblowers like Edward Snowden, who risked everything to expose hidden realities. MH370's debris, with its contradictory barnacles and high-speed crash clues, suggests a truth someone might want buried. Pursuing it demands courage, because uncovering secrets can shake trust in institutions like aviation or governments. Finally, MH370 reminds us of our limits. Science can map the ocean floor, but it can't heal every wound. The real victory lies in honoring the lost by never stopping the search, proving that even in failure, The act of trying is a triumph. As we wait for Ocean Infinity's next move, let's hold on to that defiance against the abyss. MH370 isn't just a mystery, it's a mirror reflecting our deepest fears and fiercest hopes. For 11 years, it's tested our faith in technology, our trust in those who lead us, and our ability to endure uncertainty. Yet, the tireless work of people like Richard Godfrey, Blaine Gibson, and Ocean Infinity's team shows that humanity's hunger for truth can outlast even the ocean's silence. Their efforts remind me of a quote from philosopher Søren Kierkegaard: "Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards." We may not yet know MH370's full story, but every clue, every dive, brings us closer to understanding and honoring the 239 lives lost. This journey also challenges us to reflect on our own resilience. What would you do if faced with a mystery that seemed unsolvable? Would you keep searching, like Sarah hiking the Alps for her brother, or Gibson braving threats for debris? MH370's legacy is a call to action, to question, to persist, and to care. As we await the next chapter, perhaps a breakthrough from Ocean Infinity's drones, let's carry that spirit forward. The truth may be deep, but our resolve is deeper. What do you think about this topic? Don't hesitate to share your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to stay updated on our latest videos. We'd love to hear from you. For now, goodbye and see you next time.